getaddrinfo takes a host name. That can be the name of a remote machine or one of the names for the current machine. And it takes an argument called served name. Normally that's a port number. So like port 80 if you're trying to reach a web server. Getaddrinfo takes those two pieces of information plus some other options about what kind of connection you expect to make, and then it finds suitable addresses for you. The host name can be null to mean any of the possible names for the current machine. The service name can be null to mean that you're not picking a port number right now. Hints can be things like saying you're going to make an IPv4 connection or a TCP connection. And it takes getaddrinfo takes that information, it uses DNS if necessary, and gives you a linked list of addresses that match up with that name. That goes in the res field. So res, there's 2 stars here, so you pass it the address of a pointer to an attrinfo, and that way you get an attrinfo pointer back. That attrinfo pointer points to a record with this shape. It's a linked list because the last thing in that shape is a pointer to another attrinfo or eventually a null pointer. The details of attrinfo don't matter too much. You'll see that we're going to end up using these first 3 fields, just handing it back to the kernel to specify properties of connections that we want. And then we will also be passing back this address and the length of the address back to the kernel to specify how we want to make connections. When AI family is AFINet, that's a constant that's defined in system header files, it turns out that this address will have a particular shape that corresponds to IPv4. But we're not going to talk much about that. We can just leave it as abstract. We get addresses from getaddrinfo, and then we can send those back to system calls. Sometimes we need to take an address that maybe one we got and turn it back into something that's human readable. Say, for example, we want to map twitter.com to numeric addresses. Right? Getaddrinfo gives us the addresses in that opaque format. We can use getNameInfo to turn that opaque format, some sort of address that has some sort of length, and turn it back into a host name and service, that is port number, representation. Especially if the flags here we specify that we want numeric results with numeric host and numeric serve.